Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started with turn one. And just like before, uh, turn one, or not like before, but turn one, we skip the event phase, the HQ event phase. I think for both enemy and friendly. So what we do next is our regular activation. We know that our company, they're back here in the pickup zone. They're in contact with battalion. And so this is what we get. All right, three. Three ups. I think I should be more familiar with my company. Okay, so Captain Lee, he's a green, so it's a -1 for this command, so he gets 2, but we have no contact, and no contact is a +1, so he still gets 3. Right. He has 3 commands. Now with those 3 commands, he's gonna activate, for starters, the first flight leader, because this is how we know this is the flight leader right here, right? And flight leader 1-1, and then again we have UH or Hueys 1-2, 1-3, and 1-4, right? So that's how we know. So first flight, he's gonna activate them, and the way this will work is that well, actually, and then just in case, we'll activate second platoon, and he'll save those commands, right? Yeah. Yes, and it's a clear day today. All right, so that's all we're gonna do. Now we're gonna draw for the ones that we've activated. So let's activate the flight leader. Flight leader gets 5, and since the flight leader is just an attachment from the air cavalry unit, I believe. I should be in the mission. I should have looked. Yes. Right. Right. So, 5 commands. Our air unit is aligned by default. All of our attachments are line, no more, no less. So they just get 5 commands to work with, which is a ton. Actually, maybe not a ton. So let's see. Oh, there you go. First flight leader, they get 5. Cool. And then second platoon, activate, and second platoon, what are they? Oh man, he's a green. He's a green leader. What's his name? Mason? Lieutenant Mason? All right. But again, no contact, so he just gets 2. And that's going to help a little bit, because once he gets on the field, he may have some save commands that he can use, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And then also you can see I've given everybody all their smoke grenades, white phosphorus grenades, the Whiskey Pete's, and LZ designations that they can set up. Okay, now, the other thing I didn't really talk about before we move on to the next part is since all the grenades, the smoke grenades, and the flares, and the pyrotechnics, we can set up orders. And on the back side, I didn't show this, because at least the original, this version 1 book just says you can just assign commands and be creative. Version 2 gives you some pretty solid ideas, and you can get that again on the GMT Games website. Now, for the red smoke, I've got it to mark our positions, red and green smoke. And what does that mean? Well, for our airstrikes that we have, in order for us to call it in, we need to mark friendly positions first with the smoke grenade. So then, the pilots can see where the friendlies are, where the enemy's at, and then target accordingly. So we have to set down these marks, and then we can call them in. The yellow smoke, purple smoke, I've set to retreat. The white phosphorus, I've set for, to mark, but for these, you have to mark the target. So you would have to be on the same card, mark it, and then perhaps try and get out of that card. And then some of the flares are going to designate new landing zones, because I figured I could. The red cluster, red flare cluster, red star cluster, that's what it is, I think. Retreat, and then the green star parachute, whatever. That's going to designate the casualty landing zone if we don't designate it already, because I couldn't think of anything else to do. All right, so those are all the pyrotechnics that I've set up. Now let's go ahead and get to spending the commands. Now, for these guys, for them to move, or to activate the move, you have, even though, okay, let's put it this way. All the helicopters in here, they're gonna force to move in and out because of fuel issues. Well, not issues, because they're gonna run out of fuel. So they just go in, go out, they don't linger around for very long. So they will always move when they're supposed to. However, in order for them to move, you have to first spend commands to make them move. You just can't save your commands because you know they're going to move automatically. So you have to spend the commands to move them. If you run out of commands, that's okay because they're going to move anyway. But again, you have to spend the commands first. So in the case for this flight leader, he's going to activate his entire flight, which is just 3. I was thinking about activating himself, but I don't think he will activate himself. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. He's the leader. And actually, for like a platoon move, I'm just going to do it like a platoon move. I'm pretty sure I can do it that way. We're just going to use 2 commands, and everybody gets to move. Everybody. And that's it. And here are the move and activated markers here. Probably going to be using these a ton. But probably not going to do much with these markers. I'm going to get some of them out. Just put them over here. I'll put some of these out to mark some stuff, but in these cases I can remember, because those are just for memory's sake, that they're going to move in and do all that stuff. All right, so that's it. Nobody else gets to activate, or they're not going to spend any commands, and then everybody gets an impulse. Oh boy. So we're going to first just do the XO and the first sergeant. They automatically just get 1. And then first platoon. Oh dear. Oh wait. It's the lower number because they weren't activated. So it's 4. 4 commands. And I may have messed up 1. So let's see. First platoon, they're a line. +1 for no contact. So they get 5. Ooh. And there's a lot going on with all these commands. I am scared of this. All right, third platoon, they get 2. All right, fourth platoon, I forgot I had 1. They get just 3, I think. Fourth platoon, no, they get 4. They get 4 because they're aligned. They don't get a -1 modifier. And oh dear, this is just too much to handle. Second flight leader, they only get 1. Third flight leader gets 3. And then the last flight leader gets 3. Good lord, this is a mess. All right, so general initiatives out of the way. And general impulse. We can't do anything with the general impulse, but to keep the randomness sake, general impulse we get 2, but nobody's on the map. All right, next, after the initiative, general impulse, we don't do an enemy HQ. There's no enemies on the board, so no enemy activity check. Nobody's doing the mutual capture and retreat phase. Now is the mutual vehicle/aircraft phase. So this is where we do all the vehicle stuff. Now, so timing is important. So here we go, 1-1, going to the LZ with everybody. And the stack just totally tipped over. All right. Goodness. All right, there we go. Where's 1, 2? 1, 2. 1, 3. 1, 4. Right, so they're all at the LZ. And for those of us that are curious, you can only have 4 vehicles in a card at a time. So you can quite imagine how tight this is to get everybody in and out. Now, Where are... Ah, there it is. Now, we still do the exposed things, so when they move, they do become exposed. So we get 4 exposed markers, okay. Alright, they're exposed. Them and everybody in the vehicle as well. Okay, now that they've moved, you know, we would mark them as moved and activated, but these are the only 4, and these are pretty easy to remember that they're here. Now, this is what happens next. Per the rules, you don't need to spend a command to disembark anybody. You do need to spend commands to load things and people onto it, and you also need to spend a command to unload ammunition and supplies and equipment. But for regular soldiers, you don't need to do that. So let's go ahead and disembark everybody. So now everybody's on the map. Pretty simple, yeah? And of course, everybody here, they're exposed as well. And again, this little staging area here, no enemy has line of sight over there. Okay? So nobody can be attacked and nobody can fire onto the map. Okay. There we go. Everybody's exposed there. Mutual vehicle phase. Everybody's now on the LZ. I'm going to hold off moving anybody in here for just one turn. Why? Because I want to first generate a few enemies, get spread out a little bit, because again we have a step limit, so you want to spread out, and we just want to see what's out there before we start bringing in reinforcements. Because again, this LZ can get crowded really fast, and if we clear out another LZ, we can designate it, and we can extend it. Alright. What's after the vehicle phase? Combat phase, which, you know, nothing happens in the combat phase. We don't have any potential contacts, so there's no combat. Now we can go to the cleanup, which basically we remove all of these exposed markers that we just put down. Okay. Alright, and that's it, turn 1. On to turn 2. And we shall see how this works. Also, what is first platoon? First platoon is a line, right? Yeah, first platoon is a line. So they can save, pretty much everybody can save what they've got. That's a lot to keep track of. Okay. Alright, so so that's turn 1. And we're ready for turn number 2. And okay, welcome to turn 2. If you remember last time, we just got everybody on the LZ, and we're we are going to start moving our helicopters back. And they're going to go into the outbound. They won't be marked exposed. So again, starting from the top, now it's turn 2. We do the HQ phase, so we draw, see if we have an HQ event. Thank goodness we don't. And now we activate the company HQ, and they get 3, which, okay, so green, so 3 minus 1, plus 1 for no contact, so they get 3. So let me go up to 4. All right. Oh boy. Goodness, what am I gonna do? For the first thing we're gonna do, we'll do the, I don't know, I'm just gonna keep these commands allocated because the safety commands is just too much to move around all these counters now. We're gonna spend 2 commands to activate, first of all, 2nd Platoon HQ, and then also flight leader of the first stick or flight, whatever you want to call them. Let's see, what does the rulebook call them? They call them flight. So activate flight leader 1, and so they can start moving back and not waste anybody's commands to do that. And not going to spend any more with the company HQ because they don't need to do anything else at this time. And since, you know, company's in the staging area, company HQ's over here, can I activate second platoon? Yeah, because remember this radio here, the PRC 25, that has communication through everywhere. And then again, vehicles have their own radios. Okay, let's draw for those. Let's do the platoon first. So second platoon gets 2, -1, +1, and goes up to 4. Oh dear. Too many counters. And then what's next? First flight leader, they get 2. And where's first flight leader? There's first flight leader. So the flight leader goes up to 5. Alright. What do we do next? What's next on our list? Now we get to spend stuff. Again, I don't like putting in the entire platoons in danger. And since we only have these 2 machine gun or these M60 teams, I'm gonna hold them back. Again, we're gonna just really use them as support teams. We don't need to send them out willy-nilly. So command 1, we're gonna break down Okay, so let's do a test. Because I was going to send them because they have a radio as well that they can communicate with the platoon anywhere on the map. So then they could just, you know, find cover and not wait for that general initiative segment, right? But I want to break them down, then send them. But if I break them down, then send them, and only have that scouting team with the, the scouting team with the radio, if they get hit, then that radio might be destroyed and then all is lost. So let's do this. We're going to break these guys down. Second squad. And second squad, what are they? They are a line. And that first squad is a veteran team. Is this the right one I want? No. I think it's this one. Yeah, this one. These are where all the special Vietnam teams are. Here we go. Alright. So here we are. We have a regular fire team with that grenade launcher. And then we have an assault team with the M16A1. And I'm going to choose to have them break down into this fire team. And then you may also be wondering this entire time, what does that little A/S mean on all of their volumes of fire? Well, they all have automatic weapons and small arms fire, but the kicker is to generate the automatic weapons, they have to be at basically point blank range, so same card. So the assault team that you see over on this side, they only have automatic weapons and it's point blank. And I don't want to use that. So instead, this is the better one because they have at least close range for the small arms and they have that little G icon. So we basically have unlimited grenades that we can launch at the enemy. And in this scenario, it's the Viet Cong. All right. Now, where do I want to move them? I'm going to move them to the one that has the most cover. So we're going to move them down this way into the brush. Issue one more command, so that's 2 commands. And then they become exposed. So here, who is it, second platoon? So they issue 2 commands, like that. And let's kind of do the same thing. Let's kind of do the same thing with third squad here. And again, I'm naming them all, and I'm not using any of their names. So Sergeant Bauer did his thing and went down to the brush already, and now we have Sergeant O'Brien. Goodness. There we go. And Sergeant O'Brien is breaking down his team here, their squad, and then they're gonna move to the village. Why do I pick the village? It has slightly higher cover and might get some slightly better cover, but we'll see. And that's it. Second platoon used all of their commands. And then flight leader number 1 right here. Going to use 2 commands to activate everybody in his flight to then start moving out. Okay. And again, it's probably going to be really rare if we have to use any like company commands or EXA or first sergeant commands. So we'll see. All right, that's what we've got going on. We moved. Now is off to the general impulse section. So first sergeant gets 1, EXO gets 1, and everybody else who wasn't activated, they get some stuff. First platoon, they get 2, right? No, they get 3 commands. Where is first platoon? They get 3 commands. They go up to 8, but since they can only save so many, they're probably going to go back down to 6. Yeah, 2. All right. Third platoon, 1. Third platoon is a line, so 1 plus 1 minus 1. Who is it? Third platoon, and they get, no, they don't get minus 1, but they get 2, so they go up to 4. Next, fourth platoon, they get 2 commands, and they're a line, so they just get 2 commands. So fourth platoon, they go up to 6, and then that's probably where they're going to stay at. And I'm pretty sure this is the right way to do it, because that's how it's done in all the World War II missions. If anybody doesn't get activated, it's just the general impulse for everybody that wasn't activated. So in that case, we'll have a lot of commands to work with when we get other people onto the map. Next. Who's next? We just did 4th platoon, 2nd flight. 4. Goodness. Okay, well, that helps them. 4 commands. 3rd flight, 2 commands. Nope, 3 commands. So that means 2nd flight actually goes up to 6. And 3rd flight, where are you? 3rd flight, it's 3 commands. So they go up to 6. So yeah, see, this is a lot to keep track of. Oh dear. 4th flight, 2 commands to 5. Good. And I think that's it for all the flights. Yeah. All right, general initiative over, or that initiative is over. Now we get the general command 2. Perfect. All right, so first order of business. These guys down here, they're going to start looking for cover while they scout. So to look for cover, we have a draw of 3. And let's see what we get. And we're looking for, hey, found cover. More cover. Double cover. It doesn't mean anything though. There it is. So we'll see if we run into any VC. And now I'm kind of nervous because I've never fought them before. I don't know what kind of tactics they have. At least in the game. Historically, I do know. But in the game, I have no idea. Alright, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to look for cover in the village. So let's draw 1, 2, and they don't get it. However, if we were drawing for contact, that would have been awful. Alright, so at least the brush, they have something going on there. Next on our list, since we've done the initiative segment, it is now enemy activity. So let's draw for higher event or event phase, no event. And the redraw or the reshuffle card should be coming up soon. Very soon. Now, enemy activity check, nothing's there. Mutual capture and retreat, nothing. And vehicle phase. Now is ready to go. Alright. Say leave the LZ. And again, for the move phase, you don't have to move then unload, or unload then move. It's just however you can do it. You can move then unload, or unload then move, doesn't matter. So I could have held him on the helicopter for a turn, but again, I don't want to do that. And hopefully we can get some good stuff cleared out. And I didn't really think about unit cohesion. I just want to clear out some potential LZs, and I'll work on it from there. So that's the vehicle phase. Didn't activate any other vehicles. Don't want to move any other vehicles yet. May try to get the company HQ here in the rice paddies, maybe. All right. So vehicle phase, combat phase. This doesn't mean anything. So let's evaluate the potential contact markers, because that's fun. So we have two cards. We're going to go from left to right, top to bottom, or bottom to top. So let's see, out of two, the second one. Here we go. So we're going to resolve this one first. What do we have? Potential contact B. Let's see. So for potential contact B, with a no contact, as we can see here, it's automatic contact. So we don't even have to draw. So that generates an enemy force. Let's see what force generates. Yeah. All right, so here we go. Potential contact B on a result or on a draw of 10. And we have the reshuffle, but we'll go ahead and draw anyway. And out of 10, it's number 5. So what's 5? Spider holes. I don't know what that is, but it sounds creepy. I don't like it. I'll reshuffle and come back, and we'll see what those spider holes mean. All right, well, I had to make one small adjustment. So here are all the NVA soldiers here. Yeah, not NVA, goodness, the VC, the Viet Cong soldiers. Fighters, since they're so, well, in the rules it designates that for this package force for the squads, since there are like 3 different versions of them, all with different volumes of fire, we need to put them all in a cup and then draw at random which one generates. Right. Now, I did forget to do one thing when I moved my squads, which is since they are now in this adjacent card, any other card that's within their line of sight gets revealed. All right, so let's start over here, see what happens with this one. All right, rice paddies over here. Some bamboo, some pretty good cover there. A gully / canal. Mangrove / swamp. All I'm getting from this is enough in grass. That if they generate somewhere where it's terrible, good lord, we're gonna have a tough time. And then down here as well. And again, line of sight is kind of any adjacent card all around. Oops, now I know what this potential contact is by accident. But I'll probably forget in a minute. Brush, more brush. An open field. Oh dear. All right. So again, line of sight dictates that they can see through this card all the way to the next one, and this is all they can see really. For extra line of sight like this, it's only a straight line. Okay. All right. Some brush. And what happens up here? Some more bamboo. Ooh, which then means, right, this rice paddy, we get an extension of the map up here. All right, so elephant grass. And tracing a straight line of sight. Alrighty. Goodness. All right, now, So what do the spider holes generate? 2 squads in foxholes. All right, so there we have, and they're all unspotted as well. So that's bad for us. Oof. Oof. All right, let's see where they go. Table or unit placement. Let's see. Out of 10, 3. What's that? Right front at max line of sight. Crap. So these guys, right front, max line of sight. Here we go. So there they are. This potential contact is then done. And again, this denotes that, again, they're not spotted. Kind of to help me remember that. They do place a primary direction of fire. I'm pretty sure. Let me check. Yeah, let's see. Oh, there you go. Spider holes. PDF, volume of fire. Yes. Just to be sure. Nope, they go this way. And this generates a small arms fire. And again, this volume of fire is the same way. It'll only be automatic weapons at range 0. All right. Automatic or small arms. Next one, and now we can change this from no contact. Oops. And now we've got contact. Next placement. Out of 10, 7. What's 7? Left rear at max line of sight. That is impossible because that's where these friendlies are. We've already cleared that, so that is an invalid placement. So we draw again. Out of 10, 3. Right front, which can't do that either. Force package is already there. Redraw again. 10, 1. Per package table placement. And for this one, it just says on adjacent cards. So I'm just going to stop drawing and kind of say that for an adjacent card, it would probably be this bamboo here. Because again, that slash for the spider holes for a squad and another squad. Let me see, where are they? For squad under foxholes and another squad under foxholes. So that denotes that they're on separate cards. If it had a plus sign, it means it's the same card. Because otherwise, we'd be here just about all day, just trying to figure out where these guys are gonna come out from. Because really there's only just a few. And yes, this does generate a crossfire. And that is unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Got it. Oh man. I'm not liking this at all. So let's see. A 9 VC and a 5 VC. And what's their veteran? So this is their hierarchy. They're on the defense. This is their tactics, delay, experienced veteran, and they cover is foxholes unless otherwise noted. Now we have to update our mission log. The backside here, so we have unit number 9 and 5, experience, veteran, no casualties, no ammo for them. All right, there it is. Okay, that's just one potential contact. Moving on to the next one. Where are we? Here. Yeah. What is this? Another potential contact B. Well, since we have contact, it'll take 5 draws, and then we'll see what we get. 2. All right, 3, 4, 5. Dang it. What do we get? Out of 10, 7. Ooh, yeah. So that was almost an ambush. I don't really know what that means. All right, so out of 10, 7. 7, that means it's a maneuver. Well, I don't know what that means. Let's consult the chart. Might be on here, maybe. Oh, heck. Oh, there it is, maneuver. Ooh, they're spotted at least. And they don't place. Oh, so we may have caught them off guard. All right. MX LOS with a squad plus an exposed marker. All right. That's what I'm talking about. So what do we get? All right. Nice. And they will be exposed. We spot them. They don't spot us for this round. Score. Super score. Where do they get placed? Out of, what was it, 10? Placement 10, 3, right front at max line of sight. Which is impossible. Because the friendly is there, so they can't generate. All right, on a 10, 8, left side at max line of sight. That works. So that's just over here. All right. So one of, and again, they are spotted. And because they are spotted by us, they automatically open fire. And that generates just a small arms fire. But the cool thing is, I had it. Okay. Well, let's see. Okay, here we go. Yeah. All right. Awesome. And then this goes away. We can kind of move them a little toward the center. Gotcha. Cool. Okay. All right, and then again the next turn they'll see us and then open fire on us next turn. All right, those are all the potential contacts that we have so far, and let's move on to the next thing. And I didn't even write down what they were. 3. So unit number 3, and they are a veteran. Okay. Who's this? Let's see. Second squad, and then third squad over there. Again, I don't really remember who they are, but it's like, oh, O'Brien and Bauer. And we'll wait on the light machine gun team. Yep. Okay. Let's I can't remember. Okay, so we did our potential contacts. I think now is the combat effects segment. And yes, it is. All right, so I still like to draw for the enemy first. And again, all combat is simultaneous. So here we are. They are in a cover of 2, -2 because they're exposed. So it's just a 0, the combat modifier. Let's see what we get on a 0. Pin. So they're pinned down. Not what I wanted. All right, so up here we have a +2, -2, and then a -1 for the crossfire, so -1 overall. No! So they get hit. Who is this? Third squad? And third squad is a line. So out of the line. Ooh. Oof. Yeah, that's not good. So again, there are 2 different there are 2 different effects, but in this case, the effect is a casualty because you start from the left and then apply to the right. So you don't go from a casualty then to a litter team. It's just one casualty. And man, that was early. Then they're pinned down. Man, that really sucks. All right, and that's it. Combat effects segment is over. And now we do the cleanup phase, so we'll remove exposed markers. They're undercovering the brush. Yeah, we're still at contact because there's only one VOF on a US occupied card. Great, now I need to start getting those guys out of there, which stinks. And then we'll probably start moving, I'll probably get the company HQ in there, start designating more, goodness, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out when we get there. And let's see, what is it? 3, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we might be able to get all those other guys on there. might stay within the step limit and then start moving out. All right, that's turn 2. I would say this is pretty. I don't want to say it, but it's kind of, I guess it might be typical of what actually happened. Well, we'll see what happens on turn number 3. Turn 3.